Hey guys, welcome to episode 4 of Talk 21. Can you believe we're on episode 4 already, Dave?
Time flies.
Time flies when you're having fun. That's right. So the episode that we're talking about today, or the topic, is start to finish.
Start to finish. Well, when we're talking about dealing with our clients, whether it's buying or selling, there's a starting and an ending point. So, I guess to start, first and foremost, we got to kind of listen to our clients. We got to see what they're looking for, whether they're buyers or sellers. If they're buyers, budgets, financing, trying to get them prepared because as much as we think that it's a bit softer, inventory's down, that's caused a bit of an influx in making sure our clients are ready. So with that being said, without getting too personal, we should get as much from our clients as possible to get them ready for the buy. When we talk about sellers, we got to wonder why they're selling. Are they downsizing? Are they looking to buy a bigger home? So we have to understand why they're selling, and we got to make sure we talk about risk averseness, like selling first, and having to buy is good because you'll know what you got. And
Question for you:
Yeah.
Should you buy first or should you sell first in this market?
Well, again, getting back to the whole thing is we need to know our clients. So if we're representing a seller in this instance, we gotta make sure they're okay with having sold first and having the unknown of what they're buying. Like so, but then there's some people who gotta worry about their risk averseness. So if they haven't bought something, if they haven't sold first, then they're not gonna know what they have to buy. So you have to really know what your seller wants. So it's really 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 important to see what the risk averseness of the client is and how important it is to have the sale done before they go buy. So it's really we need to. There's no right or wrong. It's just a matter of doing what the client wants and hoping. Sometimes we don't have that foresight of where it's going to be, but it's something we gotta like talk about the pros and cons with the sellers at that point.
Yeah, I think in this market, it's kind of I agree. You have to listen to your clients, and you know, well, what could be the possible outcomes. It just seems that with the unpredictability of today's market, I'd say that you know, being a seller, you get the closing, a 90-day closing if possible. Hopefully, allow you to find something. But I definitely think I could be wrong, but I definitely think that you should probably be selling first. This way, you know the outcome,
Yeah.
you know what you're dealing with, and you can move forward, right?
Yeah.
You've got that power also, where you don't have to be afraid when you're putting in an offer that you could go in firm. If you had to get that property and step your offer up by 10, 15, whatever the number may be, you'd feel very confident doing so because you know you're sold.
Right.
You know what you have in your pocket, and you know your buying power.
Right.
So I think buying power is a very powerful thing today.
That's true. That's true. But then there are people that still have money out there. So not everybody's needs to know that they sold first. So again, getting back to understanding your clients and what their needs are. Some of my buyers and say sellers, they want to buy that dream home, and they're not buying their first home. So when they see the house they like, they know they can finance it. There's not going to be an issue with regards to financing. So they're only going to buy first and then go sell.
Okay, so now what about if they hire you? Someone says, I need to buy a home, little problem. I already sold the home I'm living in now, so now I'm strapped. I gotta go quick. What do? They're in a very bad situation now.
Well, you got to pound the pavement. You got to find out what they're looking for, what are their, must-haves, range of budget, area they want to live in. Like, there's many factors you got to take into consideration. You got to move. You got to be able to be there with them, pound that pavement, get out, see those appointments, and try to get a deal done for the right property. It's kind of hard. We're always in that kind of predicament because sometimes we have to close a house within 30 days, and we got to find something for our clients.
Now, would you always say to your clients, buying or selling, the very first thing, should you say, have you gotten your finances in order?
So, back to seller. If he sold, he's got to know his finances, right? He knows what he's got. Again, we got the buying power. It's different when you're dealing with a buyer. Buyer, you have to go through what are you looking for? Really listen to what they need, neighborhoods, schools, use your financing in place. Do you have a pre-approval? Can we get something in writing?
Right.
Have you dealt with a lot of people that just haven't even gone to the mortgage broker?
I won't even take them out. I won't even bother.
Yeah,
You
I mean,
Okay?
I mean, unless it's someone you know.
I mean, if it's just very frustrating, not for us as agents working with these buyers, it's just more frustrating for them. If you're not aware of what you can buy and what the affordability is, it's just going to be a letdown on your part. I mean, we can go look at as many properties as possible, of
course.
but when it comes down to offering on them, if you're never going to be able to attain it based on financing alone, that's something you should be preparing before we get out there. Not so much that they're wasting our time, more so that they don't want to be let down
And-
when their dream home comes to the table and they just don't have the money.
And I think the issue is on our part as realtors is not asking the proper questions.
Right.
Right? Like, why is this person looking? I didn't want to come off like pretentious or anything, but why is this person looking and not knowing what you can afford?
Right.
Like, definitely misguided or not guided at all.
And that's true. You don't really need to know their finances to gear them towards the right property in the right area. Like I know some people, some buyers, sellers, clients of ours, they don't want to give you the information. They want to tell you what they earn and all that. I don't need to know their exact net worth or what they
No.
can afford. But by conversing, by talking to them and understanding them, you can ask and pose the right questions to see where the affordability is, and then guide them into the right direction. But it's always advisable to go get the pre-approval. Even though the piece of paper doesn't mean much because everything's got to be quantified by the appraiser when you buy something, and that's why conditional deals are great, again, like that we can have conditional deals. But with that being said, we got to make sure that the buyer has an understanding of what the affordability is without prying too much into their finances and so on and so forth. There's still a way of doing it, and a seasoned, experienced agent will be able to do that without being that person that's too intrusive.
Yeah, but okay, so here's my thought on that. You're absolutely right. Now, I think you're talking about someone that you may know, you've done business with before, your relationship is strong. But I'm taking Stefano's question as if someone, just because he said, like, kind of off the street, someone you don't know, you don't have a relationship with. So you have to, it's important to get them to where they want to be, but knowing the steps and what needs to be done to guide them to get them there,
Right.
right? Start to finish, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's, it's very key to be able to just get them to where they need, have that pre-approval. We do not get involved as realtors in knowing people's like finance and stuff like that. Like we're realtors. When my clients ask me information about mortgages, I say here, if you don't have a mortgage broker, talk to a mortgage broker. I can't give you that advice. Right? Same thing with lawyers. Like I'm not a lawyer, I'm a realtor. We can talk about real estate all day long, but when you need a lawyer, or you need to talk about mortgages or anything else, home inspection. Like
There are specialty people in the industry.
I'm not gonna make comments on stuff that I don't know.
Yeah, to your point, I understand that we're not going to pry too much, but like as a seasoned agent like that we are, we could give advice, but it should be quantified by the professionals, right?
Absolutely.
So when somebody says, well, like if they're willing to divulge their income and like household income and debt ratio, like the debts they have and so on, I can give them some sort of an idea where they will be or could be when I'm talking about rates, and we are familiar. But to make them feel 100% sure, we push them and put them in the direction of the professional in the industry we
We
are.
help and guide them in the right direction, right?
So let's talk about the percentage. Now, this is a very, very misguided thing. People say, well, why do I have to pay 5%?
So first of all, it's not 5. It's 5% on the contract, but it's 2.5 to the buyer and 2.5 to the seller. And what people don't realize, as being a realtor, you have to be a psychologist, a psychiatrist, a financial advisor. What else, Dave? I mean, what else am I missing?
Yeah,
Like,
you're wearing a lot of hats. You're wearing a lot of hats to help out along the way, and then you have a team behind you to again make sure all these are in check. But like we really, as agents and brokerages and that have reputable clients and sales, you got to make sure your value proposition is really good. Like so, in other words, all the things that we offer are something that cost us money, and we're trying to regroup. The thing about the 5%, yeah, like I mean that's been like what they called like an industry standard. There's definitely, it's not etched in stone. Every agent can negotiate their commissions, and buyers and sellers can ask the questions, and it should be all clearly outlined. So with that being said, it's not so much etched in stone. The Competition Act is very clear that we need to make sure that buyers and sellers know that they're able to negotiate commissions, and that's what we're here for.
There's yeah, for sure. There's a lot of things that happen in the background that clients don't see. That we're negotiating, we're dealing with deals behind the scene. We're always on the phone. We're always trying to do the best for our clients, get them top dollar. So a lot of the times, an end user doesn't see that work that happens, that time that you're putting in, the time that you're a night, 11 o'clock at night, like last night, 11:45 p.m. I'm putting up a lot box, right?
Yeah.
Like it's time away from your family. Like, I mean, I think if you're working with a proper agent, they do, their value is there,
Yeah.
right? I mean, I think you're paying for, if you're getting the service that you deserve, like, the staging when you're selling, being by their side, coaching them, helping them.
Right.
I mean, giving your advice. Like, this is valuable. Like, it's like when you go to the doctor, you gotta pay when you go for the appointment. No, you can't say, but why? You're the professional. What do you mean? Why are you questioning that? Basically, there's a start and an end, right? Being in sales, for having almost 30 years of experience, I'm giving my age away here. I find it very satisfying to be able to help people get to their end goal. And that's really why I do what I do, because that smile on their face when we're able to get the deal done and come and visit them at their home and see their house nicely set up, for me, that's the best feeling in the world. And growing these strong bonds with clients, they treat me like family because they know I'll go the distance for them, right? Like, there's no, like, I'll do whatever it takes to get it done. And some people really see that and really appreciate it. So the reason why I do what I do today is because I love to help people and be able to get them to the end goal. Like, if I feel like if I can't get it done, I feel like I failed, right?
Good point. No, it's a really good point. I get it. We are dealing with the most valuable asset that anybody owns, and that being said, we really play a big role and we want to be a part of it. There's nothing better than having them conquer their dreams, and being a part of it is really important. And it's a big task, and we've been doing it for so long, and we've been successful doing it because we've been doing it right. So the value proposition we have in with regards to commissions and that are there, and we're there to negotiate everything from top to bottom.
Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed episode 4. I know there's a lot of information there, and the reason why we created Talk 21 was for these topics, to be able to hear organic material from Dave and I about everyday stories, situations, and we're also going to be bringing in a lot of guests. Special guests we'll have, home inspectors, mortgage brokers, builders,
Other
contractors,
realtors.
other realtors.
Right.
So we're really looking forward to it. I hope you guys are enjoying the show so far. And you guys can follow me at Sam Genova Real Estate, and Dave.
Yeah, and you can follow me at C21 Fine Living Realty. Looking forward to more episodes.
Yeah, to growing this together and having fun with it.
Sounds good.